and industry. And I hope you've been pacing yourself. Justice for all, access to quality education, modern infrastructure, agriculture, and now we are at innovation and industry. It's important for us to transform our economy, create new sectors, modernize traditional ones, and ensure that Jamaicans like Yinga, like Jody and Pantry, who have creative impetus and talent, have the opportunity to access resources and global markets. So I invite, in this section, we will have two speakers actually, but I will invite first the Member of Parliament for Western St. Andrew to share the vision we have for innovation and industry. Please welcome Mr. George Anthony Hilton.
All protocols observed, and I want to especially recognize our next Prime Minister, Mark Jefferson Golding. From 2012 to 2016, the last PNP administration introduced to Jamaica in a fundamental way the concept of logistics as a functional area of the economy, and a logistic hub as a strategy for economic growth. The next PNP administration will be making more complex and to point out the connection between the supply chain and the value chain, and to drive industry in the process. So I'll be focusing on innovation and industry. So ladies and gentlemen, imagine for a moment that you're standing at a crossroads. Behind you lies a path we have walked for 63 years, a path paved with bauxite dust and tourist footprints on the sands of our seashores. Ahead of you stretches a new highway, one that we must build together. The question isn't whether change is coming to Jamaica. The question is, will we lead that change, or will we be swept along by it? The only certainty in today's world is uncertainty. Global disruptions have become our new normal. But here's what I know about us Jamaicans. We don't just survive disruption. We dance with it. We turn crisis into creativity, challenges into championships. Let's be honest with ourselves. Our bauxite reserves won't last forever. Tourism, as wonderful as it is, leaves us vulnerable to every hurricane, every global pandemic, every economic shock that comes our way. And our over-reliance on remittances, now under significant threat, has undermined economic resilience and stifled domestic productivity, leaving a nation vulnerable and limiting long-term development. We've built our house on shifting sands, and it's time to pour a new foundation. But here's the beautiful thing about this moment. With every disruption comes an opportunity for reinvention. Think about it. The same digital revolution that threatens traditional industries is the same force that can connect a young programmer in Spanish Town to clients in Silicon Valley. The same climate change that challenges our agricultural sector can drive us towards becoming the Caribbean's first truly green economy. This is why we must embrace the PNP's initiative, Jamaica 4.0. Jamaica 4.0 is not a slogan, but a movement and a whole-of-nation approach. Jamaica 4.0 means building a knowledge-based economy where a brilliant mind in Mandeville is just as valuable as one in Manhattan. It means creating tech innovation zones in Montego Bay, Kingston, Mandeville, and Port Antonio. It means creating industrial parks in St. Thomas, St. Catherine, Clarendon, Trelawney, and St. Mary. Places where our young people don't have to leave home to change the world. Picture this as well. Jamaican farmers using AI, as was just said, to predict weather patterns and optimize crop yields. Or musicians, not just creating the sounds of the world, the soundtrack of the world, but owning the digital platforms that distribute it. Or manufacturers, not just assembling products, but designing them with smart technology that makes Made in Jamaica a mark of innovation, not just pride. Recently, I met a young woman, let's call her Keisha, who created an app that helps small farmers connect directly with restaurants in Kingston. She didn't need $1 million loan or a foreign partner. She needed what Jamaica 4.0 will provide: reliable internet, access to training, and a government that says yes instead of wait. But transformation is not magic. It's policy, it's methods, it's processes, it's strategy. It's all of us working together. We will modernize our existing trade agreements and widen our market access and reduce trade friction and boost Jamaica's competitiveness. We will develop our modern industrial strategy to help us seize the most significant opportunities and create the most favorable conditions in key sectors for the companies of the future to emerge here in Jamaica. A PNP government will revamp Jamaica's global image, damaged over the past 9 years. To promote Made in Jamaica as a badge of quality and reliability, and launch an aggressive country branding and investment promotion campaign. Logistics is the lifeblood of modern commerce, and Jamaica is uniquely positioned to be its beating heart in the Americas. We will build logistics hubs that position Jamaica as the gateway between the Americas and the world. We will create over 100,000 direct jobs and 400,000 indirect jobs, not in 5 decades, but in the next decade, anchored in a bold SEZ infrastructure strategy. We will modernize agriculture, as was just discussed, so our farmers don't just grow food, they grow opportunity, wealth, and food security for all. We will establish a National Logistics and Supply Chain Council and National Innovation and a National Innovation Fund, because every breakthrough starts without someone who dares to dream differently. Let me say it clearly, because every breakthrough starts with someone who dares to dream differently. We will reform our education and workforce development systems, because you can't build a 21st century economy with 20th century skills. This is our moment. This is our choice. This is our Jamaica 4.0. We won't just extract, we'll create. We won't just survive, we'll thrive. We won't just participate in the global economy, we'll help to shape it. 63 years ago, our parents and grandparents chose independence. Today, we must choose innovation. They chose to govern themselves correctly, I may add. We must choose to grow ourselves. They dreamed of a free Jamaica. We must build a sustainable economy with inclusive growth and opportunity for all. Jamaica 4.0 isn't just our economic plan. It is our promise to every child who dreams of building something great without leaving home. It's our commitment to every entrepreneur who sees opportunity where others see obstacles. It's our covenant with generation yet unborn. Ladies and gentlemen, the era of extraction is ending. The age of innovation has begun. And it starts with us, here, today. Welcome to Jamaica 4.0. Let's build our future together. I leave you with the following video presentation, 2 minutes video presentation. The future of Jamaica 4.0, logistics hub implemented. Time come.
The Jamaica 4.0 Growth with Opportunity program breaks new ground. In today's market climate, countries no longer compete on products or services alone, but on their contribution to the global value chain. Goods and services are no longer produced in a single location. They are assembled and delivered across a network of territories, each adding value to the final product. This global value chain is driven by opportunity. Jamaica's government must therefore create an internationally competitive business environment to join and thrive in this chain. Policy decisions directly influence foreign direct investment and, by extension, impact both local and international investor confidence, especially among multinational corporations. The next step is for Jamaica's policies to evolve, from concepts and studies to execution platforms, from incentive-driven frameworks to innovation hubs, making significant value-added contributions to the global value chain. Only then can Jamaica become a catalyst for a new kind of business environment that delivers widespread local prosperity. Through its Jamaica 4.0, Growth with Opportunity, Jamaica will harness global economic dynamics to fuel domestic growth. And that is only the beginning. The 4 pillars of the program, best-in-class trade agreements, a forward-thinking industrial strategy, a bold investment promotion plan, and a global logistics initiative will form the foundation for a globally competitive economy. These tried and tested pillars, with tangible results across multiple industries, will define a roadmap for the program until 2030 and beyond. Beyond incentives, beyond growth, this will shape a global ecosystem where Jamaica becomes the gateway interconnecting the Americas to the world, building a new global trade order defined by connectivity, resilience, and opportunity.
And now I have the privilege of introducing our young, vibrant candidate, Miss Danishka Williams, Southwest St. Anne, to address culture and the creative industries.
Good evening. Let me also observe all protocols, but a very special good evening to our next Prime Minister of Jamaica, Comrade Mark Golding. Jamaica's cultural identity is one of our greatest treasures and one of our most valuable assets globally. From the pounding heartbeat of reggae and dancehall that moves people from here in Kingston to Tokyo in Japan, to the bold colors and textures of our fashion, from theater that brings stories to life, to dance floors that unite strangers in joy, from the wisdom of our storytellers and the brilliance of our designers, our culture carries the spirit, the voice, and the vision of our Jamaican people. Culture and the creative industry can no longer be viewed as just a matter of pride. Culture and the creative industry has to be viewed as an area of opportunity to help our Jamaican people thrive. The global creative economy is valued at more than $3 trillion US. Yet we know that in Jamaica, with our passion, our unmatched talent, and our originality, our Jamaican people deserve better. They deserve more. Time come for us to put our creatives first and ensure that the work that they put in are put on the global stage so that they can also thrive. Because as Bob Marley has done, we know there are many other creatives in Jamaica that can do the same and more. The People's National Party believes that culture and the creative sector are not just about entertainment and artistic expression. It is a serious driver of economic growth, of job creation, and innovation. It is a vehicle for community transformation, and it is a pathway for our young people to turn their dreams into reality and into viable careers. Today we say, time come to invest in our people, to protect their work, and to build the infrastructure that will take Jamaican culture further than ever before. Our approach is clear, our vision is bold, and our commitment to our people remains unwavering. First, we will invest in the creative industry like never before, establishing a $1 billion creative economy fund designed to support business development, content creation, training, and community-based arts. We will create a creative industry park and music heritage museum in none other than Trenchtown, honoring our icons while nurturing the next generation of talent. And across the island, from Portland to St. Anne to Westmoreland, we are improving small studios, creative hubs, and community venues, so no corner in Jamaica is left out of this creative movement. And secondly, as one of the youngest candidates here, we are proud to say that we will also be investing in our young people, placing special focus on youth employment and capacity building. We will open doors for our young people through internship and mentorship in every creative field. We will retool the Creative Production and Training Center, the Media Technology Institute, with cutting-edge training in film, animation, in music, and audiovisual production. And from early childhood classrooms to adult learning centers, we are prepared to expand the cultural curriculum. Because creativity is not just an inborn gift. We know it must be nurtured at every stage of life. The third thing we will do is strengthen business development and regulation for creatives. Through Jamaica Creative, Through Jamaica Creatives, we will help artists and innovators become investment ready and market their work globally. We will introduce a national business certification program for creatives, revise outdated trade policies, create special entertainment zones that are properly planned with community input. And I've identified one in my constituency, and I know my colleagues have done the same. And we will simplify entertainment licensing through a single national system. Fourth, we will ensure policy reform and institutional strengthening. We will reinstate and empower the National Cultural and Creative Industry Commission, streamline government agencies to remove duplication. And if you're in the industry, you know how important that is. And ensure that public funds for creative projects are spent transparently and fairly. Let me go again. We will ensure that public funds for the creative projects are spent transparently and fairly. We will repatriate important Jamaican artifacts held overseas and modernize our museums and galleries. And yes, we will bring back the cultural passport program so our young people can put the devices down and experience the richness of our Jamaican culture firsthand. We have a plan to bring culture and tourism together, finally, in a way that benefits our communities. We will work hand in hand with the Ministry of Tourism to reinstate and promote community festivals to ensure that Jamaican culture is at the center of our tourism identity. So when my tourists are going to Bob Marley in 9 Mile, they can stop in Alexandria and enjoy some opportunities and some good fun with my constituents. And finally, we will give national recognition to 2 giants of Jamaican culture. We will confer the honor of National Hero on the Honorable Robert Nesta Marley, who, might I add, is from my constituency, and the Honorable Louise Bennett Coverley, in recognition of their enduring legacies and the way they carried Jamaica to the world with dignity, authenticity, and brilliance. Ladies and gentlemen, the People's National Party understands this simple truth. Culture is not a side note. It's not a side hustle. Culture is the heart of our story as Jamaicans. It is the very heartbeat of this nation. When we invest in our creatives, we are investing in Jamaica's future. When we protect our cultural heritage, we are strengthening our identity. And when we take our talent to the world, we are claiming our rightful place in the global economy. So let us build a Jamaica where our creative people thrive, our culture shines, and our economy grows. Time come for the creative economy to take center stage. Time come for Jamaica to lead the world, not just in rhythm, but in revenue, in recognition, and in respect. Jamaica, time come for our creatives. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I could not have said it better to round out that conversation on innovation and industry. Culture is not a side note, it's not a side hustle. It is truly the soul of our nation. Give it up one more time for our two representatives this evening, exploring what innovation and industry will look like under a PNP government, MP Anthony Hilton and MP to be Danishka Williams. Now, our next speaker and presenter is no stranger to those of us who walk the hallowed halls of TikTok daily. He is known for creating some of the most engaging pieces of content that humor us, but also call us to think deeply about the things we might overlook or take for granted. Now, one of the things I've learned is that it takes a sharp, witty mind and a wise soul to give a good joke. So fun and joke aside, our next speaker is a serious leader, and he is deeply committed to not just reforming and tinkering and fiddling with our healthcare sector, but transforming it entirely, prioritizing a patient-first approach to how we treat with our vulnerable populations, and not just centering on healing the sick, but a focus on prevention and wholesome wellness. Please join me in welcoming our speaker to explore our next pillar on Mission Jamaica Love, care for the vulnerable and health services, Dr. Alfred Dawes, the next Member of Parliament for Southeast St. Catherine.
All protocols observed. A special greeting to the next Prime Minister of Jamaica. Comrades and Jamaicans here and online, good evening. I am not here tonight to sell a manifesto. I'm here tonight to invite you on a journey. It is a journey of creating a world-class healthcare sector. It is a journey towards good healthcare with dignity, where you are treated like and feel like Smaddy Pickney. It is a journey to reform healthcare, because for too long we have been kicking the reform can down the road, and now we are at the end of that road. We are reforming healthcare to meet the needs of the people, not what looks good with optics and marketing. The people have suffered long enough. They have cried too often. Billions spent with lives not saved, but friends enriched. The People's National Party will not boast of the money that is spent. It will boast of the lives saved. And I am not just here because you can read the manifesto. I am going to say the team that is going to implement these policies care deeply about the health of the nation, led by a prime minister with medicine in his DNA. 3 generations of excellent doctors, with Sir John Golding planting the seeds that has allowed him to select a team that is going to go far beyond what Sir John himself did. I have been the doctor who decides who gets a bed and who gets to sit in a chair for days because there are no more beds. I have been the doctor who decides who gets oxygen because oxygen is low. I have been a part of the medical team that has decided who gets to go into ICU for that one available bed and who has to die. And that is not a responsibility that you would want to wish on your worst enemy, but it is a responsibility that is faced every day by our healthcare workers. You don't want to be those healthcare workers, and worse, you do not want to be that patient or relative. Billions wasted, millionaires created. Even as more mothers die during childbirth than 30 years ago, more babies are dying than 10 years ago, than 20 years ago. More Jamaicans now are suffering under this healthcare sector. And the tears of the grieving relatives for those who have passed demand change. It is not through infrastructural projects, not an ivory tower at the University Hospital of the West Indies, when so many clinics and hospitals lack staff and basic equipment to care for those who come to their doors. The needs of the patients and the staff need to be addressed and not the needs of the politician. It cannot be that policies are guided by ribbon cutting over service. Nothing short of comprehensive reform of the entire healthcare sector is acceptable. The regional health authorities, over 20 years now, we know that there is needed some level of reform, and we will make those painful reforms. We will change administrative functions. We will fix the wastage of money. We will drill down on the procurement issues that are facing the Ministry of Health. There will be a comprehensive review of how we fund the Ministry of Health and a comprehensive review of how we spend the dollars in the Ministry of Health. And above all, we will have care with dignity. And this means that you will have care with dignity from the womb to the tomb. The political will is here tonight, Jamaica. I feel it in the room. It can be done. It will be done. So I invite you, Jamaica, to journey with the PNP as we reduce waiting times for surgeries in A&E departments, in clinics, where we move patients out of chairs into beds, where we save mothers from dying in labor with improved antenatal care rather than blaming the mothers. We will end the lies that a dead baby a day at the Victoria Jubilee Hospital is due to prematurity by building a proper neonatal ICU at the Bustamante Hospital for Children, for ensuring that timely surgeries and interventions are done at Bustamante, the largest pediatric hospital in the English-speaking Caribbean, by having a proper CT scan and MRI for the first time, instead of having those children and babies carted over in the cold air to KPH. It is a pledge, it is a promise, it will be done. Join us on a journey towards improved emergency services with proper ambulances, where we will allow patriotic Jamaicans, families, businesses to adopt an ambulance and take care of the maintenance, so that ambulance will always be on the road and available in the case of an emergency. Join us as we improve radiology, where every parish hospital will have a CT scan, where we will improve dialysis so you don't have to cut the costs and allow yourself to be poisoned a little bit more, rather than get the treatment you deserve if you have kidney failure. Join us on a journey towards dignity, where you no longer have to go on Facebook and beg for blood donations. Join us for a health service where we work towards seeing a grandmother with a hip fracture, getting her surgery done because the implants are there, rather than waiting 3 months to come up with the money to buy those implants. They will have their surgery and be home in 2 days. We are on a journey to create a primary care sector system, where if you can't afford to go to the clinics will come to you with home visits through community health aides, where you will be screened, and we will manage the diabetes better, we will manage the hypertension better, so that we will have less strokes, less amputations. Today, a leg was cut off. Every day, a leg is lost in Jamaica, likely due to diabetes, entirely preventative. Join us as we journey towards cancers screened and cured with less lives lost. And this part is particularly emotional for me, because 3 years ago, my mother was diagnosed with colon cancer, and I've told this story before with her permission. And guilt-racked, I made a pact with God that should her cancer go and she'd not get that dreaded surgery where she would need the bag on her side permanently, I would do everything in my power, wherever I am planted, to improve cancer care in Jamaica. And yesterday, after her follow-up colonoscopy 3 years later, she continues to be cancer-free. Without any surgery, it disappeared from stage 3 to stage 0. And it reminds me that the pledge I made 3 years ago is not for her, but for those who could not afford the Tony Thwaites bill, who cannot afford a private doctor, those who can't call a friend and say, get a colonoscopy done. They have to wait 2 years. And during that time, the cancer grows where it is incurable. It is the reality that is facing a lot of Jamaicans, and one that I have vowed to help to put an end to that misery. And I am asking to join me on that journey, to join the People's National Party on that journey, to reduce the suffering of Jamaicans by providing the healthcare sector that I know we can create. We only have to dream it, because the team is there to do it. A team that has over 400 years of cumulative experience, but they're just waiting for the right prime minister to focus on health. With the right economic conditions, where we're not saddled by debt and austerity. I know Jamaicans, that you are hurt, angry, and disappointed with the healthcare sector. But it is that same hurt, anger, and disappointment that gives us all hope. Because now you are demanding, for the first time since universal adult suffrage, that health be a priority in a general election. And with this awesome responsibility of who forms the next government hanging over both parties' heads, it is for Jamaicans to choose the team who they believe cares more about their health rather than the gimmickry and the ribbon cutting. I know Jamaicans on September 3 going to the polls will make healthcare one of the reasons why they vote for the People's National Party to enact the reforms that we need. Our parents, grandparents who have gone before us, they demand it. Our children, the next generation, require it of us. We have an excellent opportunity now to fix healthcare for generations to come. Let us not waste it. Let us do the right thing. Thank you.
The man for the mission and the moment, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it for yourselves from Dr. Alfred Dawes. For us, as a People's National Party, health is more than just hospitals and medication. It's about the human being, or Jamaican brothers and sisters, mind, body, and spirit, supporting them through wellness and long, healthy lives. One more time for Dr. Dawes. Now, before we move to our next pillar, I want to take a moment to reflect on the values that have to guide us as leaders and citizens. At the heart of good governance is integrity, a commitment to serve with honesty, fairness, and respect for every Jamaican. These are not just political ideals, but they're promises that we're making to our country. A pledge, if you will.